Welcome to the RPGamer Adventure Corner of Melbourne Route 96. This is read by Sperumbres, written by Nix, and the video is edited by Airfrog. Active listening is important and something many of us neglect. But sometimes mishearing something can have a good outcome. My colleague was telling me about a game called Road 96, which I misheard as Route 96, and because I misheard her, I searched up Route 96 and Steam presented me with a game called Melbourne Route 96. I thought this was the game she has been referred to, and for the price of a 3 Canadian dollar, I brought it, only to tell her and find out it was the wrong game. Thankfully, Melbourne Route 96 is a short runtime, and replayability is a happy accident that I am beyond happy to recommend. Most people can relate to taking public transit and eye-dropping on people's conversation, often without context. In Melbourne Route 96, players follow a nameless protagonist as they purchase an instant camera and board the Route 96 tram. On the tram ride, players listen to multiple conversations, and though they are mostly harmless, there is an underlying eeriness that cannot be ignored. The player accidentally hit the end of the tram line only to stay on, and everything changes. Events are backward, and they are clearly moving in the wrong direction. Here is where the game mystery lies, and it's up to the players to put the pieces together. Melbourne Route 96 is a particular game. It's part travel log and part thriller. While each playthrough takes around 15 minutes or so to complete, it's important to pay close attention to how information changes as decisions are made. Considering it is loosely based on the developer's travels, there are numerous discussions being had, much like one will hear on a train. From heavy political venting to relationship drama, all of this seems normal until one starts to realize that there is something ominous being hinted at in these conversations. The writing is excellent, and the horror elements are subtle yet rewarding once the player begins to piece things together. It's a story that focuses on how the mundane can transform into something uncomfortable fairly quickly. While the game is mostly a visual novel, some interactive elements come in the form of using the instant camera. During the story, there will be moments where the game will prompt the player with a little red cycle in the bottom right hand corner to take a photo. However, it is not always easy to catch these, and it's not always obvious. By taking photos, the players get a distortion of reality, adding to that subtle horror that looms over the game's narrative. From strange tentacles to facial distortion, these images allow players to interpret whatever hidden meaning they wish to glean from the image. It's interesting, and the show versus tell aspect is so important to a game like this that it's particularly uncomfortable, and it's also asks the question of what is fact and what is fiction. It's also helped the artistic direction of Melbourne Route 96 is so distinctive. Blending photorealism with hand-drawn graphics, color is also something that is using sparingly, which definitely give a moody, unsettling vibe throughout the game runtimes. There's also a travel journal that can be flipped through, which is a gorgeous mismatch of visual styles, making the player feel like they are flipping through someone else's memories. The messiness and stylistic choice feels so familiar, especially as someone who grew up cutting out magazine, on clipping photos and pasting them into a spiral notebook, it feels so nostalgic. There is not a lot of music in the game, but what is there is subtle and fit the game overall dark tone. As I stated in the beginning of this review, Melbourne Route 96 was a happy accident and one that I want to share with anyone who loves visual novels. Lindsay Manfield has crafted something that feels both so familiar and yet so uncomfortable, and while each playthrough is short, each one builds upon the other in interesting and unexpected way. While the game is unsettling at times, gaslighting the player multiple times throughout, that part of the game's strange charm. Melbourne Route 96 is a conversation piece that will have any player wondering if what they saw was real or an elaborate piece of fiction. For more detail, hit up the link in the description below. For more video content, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitch for daily stream of your favorite RPGs. Join on the discussion at RPGamer.com on Discord. And for the latest in RPG news, head over to RPGamer.com.